Last day ever being pregnant. Last day ever being pregnant. Last day ever being pregnant. How does it feel to never be pregnant again?
Welcome to my channel, or welcome back. In today's video, I will be watching a cesarean birth video and sharing this parent's birth story. Now, this is a raw, unedited cesarean birth video, just straight to the point, and there's even the delivery of the placenta, which I'm really excited to show you. The parent in this video's name is Emily Linkins. Emily is a doula and a writer. Emily's birth work doesn't stop at birth or the postpartum period. Emily also helped me through my abortion. I'm gonna watch Emily's birth videos with you, and all three of them are here on YouTube. I'm gonna react to her birth really quickly. It says C-section, the beginning.
Good job, Mama. You're doing good, honey. They're taking so good care of you.
You're doing great, okay?
Okay. Yeah, babe.
Her partner turns the camera around and shows his face, and he's got a mask on and a cap on too. And you see a pop, and I'm not really sure what that pop is, but ooh, it made me jump. Just seeing Emily lay there, completely vulnerable, having major surgery in this video, like watching someone have major surgery and be awake. I don't know, it's wild. Legit love hearing her partner talk and tell her how good she's doing and how they're taking good care of her. That is what a birthing person needs to hear when they're giving birth. Here's the second video, C-section delivery of Frank Breech baby, and this is the birth of Valerie.
Clear fluid.
Pushing on you just for a moment. Good job, Mama.
Goodbye. Want to go out, Kelly? It's a little thing. Pressure. Can I have a moist lap ready, please? There.
Good job, Mama.
Wiggle.
She's beautiful.
There we go.
Good job.
Use it up. What's that? All I do is quick, so I don't pull it off. I want to just put it in the water. Here comes it. There you are.
Oh.
Yes. There you are.
Yay.
Perfectly round little head. Waking up good.
Good job, Mama. She's waking up. Oh, yeah.
Oh, what's going on?
Oh, hi.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
Good job,
Here you
Mama.
go. You're doing great.
Hi, honey. Hi. Hi, honey. Hi. Hi.
She has hair.
You have so much hair.
The baby is earthside and Emily had a great experience, and that is what is important. Not just the outcome of birth, but Emily's experience and how she perceived it as well. It's just amazing to see what a parent goes through no matter how they give birth. I love that the doctor or the surgeon even says, "You're doing great, okay?" And Emily says, "Okay." And then her partner is still just encouraging. I love it. It's so sweet. This third video is called C-section delivery of placenta.
Good job, Mama. You're alright.
Here comes placenta, okay?
They're just cleaning it up a little. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. You're doing good. Good job, Mama.
Awesome.
What's that there?
Yeah.
What's that?
What?
What's that?
Uterus.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, uterus.
Beautiful.
Pull it out and look at it and make sure.
I got you.
I feel like I need
Here.
to
I got you.
Take big breaths,
just
okay?
cough. I just feel like I need to cough.
Focus on your breath. You're doing really good.
I'm giving you some medicine too to help with anxiety.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
In this video, the surgeon holds Emily's entire uterus in her hands. And if I can take a screenshot of that as well, I'll zoom in on her uterus so you can see it. I just think that's so cool. Yeah. Emily also mentions that she feels the urge to cough. And if you know what that is, I forgot to ask Emily. Let me know in the comments what that might be. I might even Google it while I edit this video. But Emily mentions that she just feels like she needs to cough and everything is good. Loved watching this birth. I'm not given the opportunity to watch many cesarean birth videos, but I am totally open to it. If you would like for me to share your cesarean birth, whether it be a wonderful experience or maybe a traumatic one or maybe even in between, maybe you don't know how to feel about it. However you want me to share your birth, I will share it. Emily had a cesarean with her first child, and then she scheduled a second cesarean with her child. Second baby was Frank Breech. If you don't know what Frank Breech is, I'll pop up a little image right here. My doctor tried to convince me to do ECV and try for a vaginal birth, but since the spinning babies didn't move her, I didn't want the doctor messing with anything. We mostly prepped by getting my mother-in-law out to Montana for a week to help. Leo was our first child, and I was the wage-earning parent, so a lot of my prep was at work. Emily told me I had great experiences with cesarean birth. The first was emergent, unplanned, after a real good try at vaginal birth, and then scheduled cesarean with her second child. Emily said that both of her births were gentle, and while she wishes that her births could have been different, she's also really grateful for both of them. The only thing that I wish I would have been different, she wished that she could have had immediate skin-to-skin with her second child. They weren't comfortable with doing the infant evaluation on her chest if the baby appeared to be under 8 pounds. She had hyperemesis, and if you don't know what that is, I'll share what that is right here. But basically it causes a lot of nausea and vomiting during pregnancy. Emily shared that she feels as though cesareans are often seen as failures. It takes an incredible amount of bravery to have a cesarean. And that's whether you schedule your cesarean or it's an emergency. Cesareans are surgery, but it's more than just an operative birth. These experiences are still just as important as any vaginal birth story would be. When giving birth, it isn't just about the outcome, it's about the experience as well, and how the birther perceived that experience to be. And if someone perceived their cesarean birth to be good and a good experience, that's important. Emily said that part of why she opted for the scheduled C-section was because she thought recovery would be easier if she didn't labor beforehand. The uterus is a muscle, and she didn't want it to feel like it needed to run a marathon before surgery. No matter what decision that you make around your reproductive health, and especially when giving birth, that's your decision to make, and we should all honor that for that birthing person. Emily's basically saying that was not emotionally there to labor at home. She explained that pregnancy, because of the HG, was worse than the cesarean. HG was so awful, I wouldn't even wish it on my worst enemy. I worked my ass off during pregnancy with Valerie, working as a union organizer. It was hard. Adam was the only way I survived. He would drive me around to door canvassing and stuff. It was fun planning for the Women's March knowing I was having my daughter. Trump was elected president. Emily explains that I was literally out canvassing and was a union organizer with hyperemesis, doing all of these things. Emily is an incredible person. I feel like they are a powerhouse, and not only that, but obviously they're incredibly brave. Emily also sent an article called Delivering My Daughter After Trump. Honestly, I want to make a whole separate video on this and read the whole article to y'all. Emily explains that I ended up with a slew of residents and a surgeon who was great. Dr. Miller did right by me and gave me lots of options, even as if I was getting the surgery prep. She was like, really, Emily, you can do this vaginally if you want. And I was like, my birth plan is already set. Loved having the residents. They were really great, super enthusiastic, and really interested in helping me, and they really helped me with the perinatal depression. They called it out for me and treated me with so much respect. Anyway, I loved being at a teaching hospital, even though I know a lot of people hate that. It was special for the doctors too, because I was their first pregnant lady. The one resident told me that was the first baby I've ever seen born. I was like, yeah, make sure you do abortions too. Seeing your first birth is incredible, no matter like how they're born, obviously. I mean, every birth is so different too. I think that that's so cool that someone got to witness their first birth from Emily. I'm one of those people that probably doesn't like people learning through me. I don't know. Like, I feel like now I wouldn't care after having 2 children and giving birth to 2 children, but with my first child, I feel like I didn't need students in the room with me just because they blew both veins in both arms and they did not know how to place my IV. So yeah, maybe like as a seasoned parent I wouldn't care, but if I went back in time, I don't think that I would have allowed a student in the room with me. I have so much respect for Emily being like, yeah, come in here, like, watch my birth, and all that good stuff. I think that Emily's awesome for doing that. My sister and I were both born by cesarean, and I know that I watched my video when I was super little. Of course, it's on like a VHS, but I wish I could find it and rewatch it today. That would be so cool, because this just makes me think of when I was little and I was sitting in front of our tiny little TV with the VHS player on the front of it, you know, the little small TVs that came with the VHS, and watching myself being born. It was so weird. I was like 5 years old, so I didn't really understand what was going on, but that's exactly what this reminds me of. I'm so thankful for sharing your birth videos, Emily. Thank you so much for sending them to me and trusting me to share them and talk about them. If you are in need of an abortion, please reach out to Emily. I promise that you won't be disappointed. And if you need to even process your abortion or a traumatic birth, you can also reach out to Emily for that. I'll leave those links in the description below as well. If you have a birth story that you want to share or talk about, leave a comment and let's talk about it, because I love to talk about birth. Thank you for watching, subscribe if you'd like, and I'll see you next time.
Bye, Mommy. Just bye. Oh, no, you're bad. Say bye.
It's okay.